Well, hi everybody. Welcome to the first recorded lesson for game design. And as you can see, we're in the game design screen within the course. And I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm trying a different video recording program rather than the Class Connect, so we'll see how this goes. So taking a look at this in game design, this recording is going to show you how to get started in the course. So really what you can do, I just click Get Started right here in the top left, and you can see that here's what we're going to cover. We're going to cover 5 main items and then a few other items in the course that will help you get going. I'm really glad to have you in course, and many of you I've had in classes before. This is Mr. Harrison. So I'll take a quick look at the course syllabus to give you an idea. So there I am. I've had you in other classes, maybe computer applications or something similar to that. So I look forward to having you in this class. Okay, back to the getting started. What we're going to look at in here is the Welcome to Class video. That's what we're looking at right now. But we're going to go over the syllabus, look at the orientation, the Introduce Yourself entry, then finally the My Learning Plan assignment, which is your first graded assignment. So let's just jump right here and take a look at the course syllabus. And of course, as you know, the course syllabus is always tells you about your instructor, tells you about the course in general, more specifics about the activities you'll do and things like that, talks about the grading and such, so many different components to this. So there's my basic information. I live in Grand Junction, Colorado, as many of you know, and here's my cell phone. But generally, it's better to contact me through email, and of course, Kmail is the preferred way to contact me. So you can look at my my personal information, learn a little bit about me in this course. The description. This is going to just introduce you to game design basics. And you can imagine designing a game is a process that takes a long time. Some of the games that you play, the first-person shooter games and things like that, or the athletic games, they take a couple of years to develop, and they cost millions of dollars to develop because of all of the people that work in the development team. By no means are you going to create anything like that, but what you will do in this class is you're going to go through the basic processes of game design and look at the story elements, the levels, the sound, the interfaces, and the music. So you're going to learn all those things. Then towards the end, you'll create your own type of a game. Even though it will be very basic, you'll still go through the developmental processes on how games are created. Towards the end of the course, to start doing your major gaming work, you'll use a program called Multimedia Fusion. It's a developer, it's a demo program, and you will not download it until you get into Unit 5 because it only lasts for 30 days since it's a demo, so please don't download that too soon. I'll tell you when. The objectives of the course, you'll see that you're going to learn about different types of games, different elements in games, some innovative concepts and principles in games. You'll do a bit of writing in this class, so you learn to do some clear writing. You're going to do some storytelling too, because that's how games are. That's what games are, right? They're just stories, and you work your way through the stories. So you learn a little bit about storytelling in games, how to make games visually appealing, the audio component of games, and then finally you look at some game design documents, and you'll use Multimedia Fusion. So lots of components to the class. In the outline of it, there are 5 different sections. The game elements, the creating content, gameplay, the interface section, and finally the audio section. And all of these sections all of these units have 3 to 5 different sections. The grading for the course. Right now, the course is worth 979 points. I don't anticipate that will change, however, that could happen. And if it does happen, I'll change everything right in here, but it would not be to your detriment. So if you got 50 out of 50 on an assignment, I would not change that assignment to 100, and then you would just have 50 out of 100. There's no way I would do that. The only way I might change an assignment is if I'm or the grading might change if I add a different assignment or something like that. And always look at the grade book for your grade. Of course, grade book is right up here in the top right. Always look at the grade book, because as some of you know, we teachers, we don't have a lot of control over what is in our courses, so we cannot take things out. So if I look at the left-hand side over here and I see these different units of study, I cannot easily take things out of those. And also, some of those units of study, it might say, hey, this discussion is worth 15 points, where I maybe have changed the discussion to where it's only worth about 5 or 10 points. So always look at the grade book to see what the points are. Then finally, the Class Connect write-ups. Those are a major component of the course. They'll be about 1/3 of your grade, roughly, or maybe 25% of your grade. And I'll talk about the Class Connect write-ups later on. But all they amount to is you watching a recording of the work for the week, answering a few questions, and there you are. You have 100% of that work, of those points. So that's the syllabus. You'll be able to go through it on your own, of course. Now we're going to look at the orientation link. And the orientation link, we're going to focus on the success part and the study skills sections. Some of the other sections don't pertain to us too much. So I'm going to hit orientation and success. So the success, there are about 6 different parts. So it's going to talk about how to be a successful high school student and online student, time management, setting goals for your coursework, organizing your workspace, so how to be an effective student, working with your teacher, and then finally specific writing skills and such. So please go through all 6 of these items of the success part. In the study skills part, there are 6 items here. So preparing to study, how to take notes. In my class, you won't be doing lots of note taking, so this could help you in other courses too. Part C is a little interactive presentation about study skills. Part D, some more things about note taking. Part E, some different strategies about note taking and some reading strategies might help you. And finally, part F is a little quiz for you to take to see what you know about study skills. So work through that as needed. Now back to our getting started link. So we've done these 3 items. Now let's go to the introduce yourself entry. So that's right here, introduce yourself. And to introduce yourself, this is where you're just going to do a discussion entry. And you can see there are just 6 items that you'll answer. And this lets me and fellow classmates learn a little bit about you. And I've already made my entry down below, so I'll just scroll down a little bit. You can see my entry. And I've done all of my entries on separate lines and individual sentences and complete sentences. So make sure you do yours that way. So when you do yours, you're going to hit respond right here. Now if you want to respond to me, you can open up mine, and then down below you can hit respond if you want to respond to me. But to do your own, you're going to hit respond right here and then answer those 6 questions. And it would be nice if you'd respond to 2 or 3 classmates. Next item, learning plan, and this is your first graded activity. It's 100 points, so 100 out of 979, that's going to be more than 10% of your grade. So in this activity, you'll do this as it says. You're going to send it to me in Kmail. So you'll think about these answers, and these questions and your responses are going to help me maybe adjust things for you a little bit. So there are 7 questions, and what I would suggest, as I say here, it says copy and paste everything in a Kmail to me. So you'd copy all of this, copy all of these, then you right click copy, then you go to Kmail to me, and then you'd hit paste. Then you answer each items right in that Kmail. And I would suggest that you could just delete the ones that aren't your answer. For instance, if this is when you're answering and you're going to do the work as it's scheduled, then in that Kmail you would just delete these 2 lines. And of course, for the ones you have to come up with your own answers, like numbers 4, 6, and 7 down below, then of course you're going to want to type in your complete answers there. And when you send this in Kmail, the subject line of your Kmail should say this. If your subject line does not say this, then I'm going to take 5 points off automatically. Because I give you the directions on what the subject line should be in that K-mail. So please do it the right way. And then you'll send that K-mail to me, and this could be the first 100 points for this class. And as this says, there are no real right or wrong answers, but you're going to be graded on the completeness of your answers. So if you just put down here like a number 4, explain what you'll do to make sure you earn the grade you want. Then if you put, I'm going to do all the work, no, that is not a complete answer. You got some points taken off for that. Number 4, I want to know, what strategies are you going to use to do well in the class. The next few items, course schedule. Now I'll put a link for this, but for now the course schedule, and actually for always, it'll be linked in the doc share. So you go to doc share, click and open that course schedule. And there it is. So you can see the course schedule. This is what we're doing this week. This is what you'll be doing the next week for week 2. Here's what you'll do for week 3, etc. So the course schedule is broken down pretty well for you. Broke it down into different units to make life easier for you. So that's the course schedule. Next item to talk about are Class Connects. Now Class Connects, in general, Class Connects teachers use them to present the work for the week. And you go in there to the Live Class Connect, and you sit there and the teacher says, well, here's what we're going to do for the week, blah, blah, blah. Well, I do mine differently. My Live Class Connects are more like tutoring sessions. So what I do is I answer questions on the work for the week or other questions that you might have. It's a chance for you to check in with me. So what I would expect for the Class Connects, the live ones, that you'll check in and you'll say, hey, Mr. Harrison, I'm doing fine, I have no questions. Or you may stick around because you have a question about the work. So you'll always come into the Live Class Connects and either stick around if you need help or just check in and say hi and then go off and do your work. Now the Class Connects for this class will be from 9 to 10, the live ones on Monday mornings. 9 to 10 Monday mornings is the Live Class Connects. Now the way that I do the Class Connects, outside of the live ones, I do the recorded weekly lessons. And for those recordings, and I mentioned that right here, Class Connect recordings, so for each week, starting in week 2, I'll have the Class Connect recording, and then you'll watch that recording, and then you'll answer questions about that recording in what are called the Class Connect write-ups. And the Class Connect write-ups, those count about maybe 20% of your grade for the class. So the way that you will do all of this work is that you will go watch the weekly recording for that week. So like for week 2 recording, I'll have posted by the end of this week. You'll watch that. Then you'll get started on the week 2 work. And if you have any questions, then you come in Monday of week 2 and ask any questions to get clarification on it. And finally, on the Class Connect write-ups, I think there are going to be 7 of them, so weeks 2 through 8, I believe. And these will introduce you to the content for the week, and it's really an easy way to earn the points. So those are the Class Connect write-ups. Just to show an example of a Class Connect write-up, let's go right here. The week 2 Class Connect write-up is right there. So all you'll do for the Class Connect write-ups is you'll highlight all of this, then you'll copy, paste it into like a word processor document or into a K-mail if you want to, because you will K-mail me the answers. Or no, actually this can be done in the Dropbox, sorry. So you'll copy and paste all this into a Word document. Then you watch the recording and you find the answers from the recording for that week. You type your answers directly below each of these items. So you type your answers directly below each of these items, check your spelling and all of that. Then since you have this in a Word document, then you'll copy and paste all of that with your answers, paste it right into the Dropbox, and then you send it. Do not attach a file in the Dropbox. I want you to just paste this in the Dropbox, because then all I have to do is go into the Dropbox, read it, and give you the grade. So it's copying and pasting right into the Dropbox, putting your answers in, post it in the Dropbox, and you're done. Very easy grade. So that's an example of how the Class Connect write-ups work. Okay, we talked about Class Connects. Communications for the class. There are many ways you can communicate with your instructors. And here are just some of the ways and some of the suggestions that I have for you. Announcements. Read announcements every time you log in. If there's a new announcement, make sure you read it. Announcements, I do a couple of things with those. First of all, I'll use announcements to announce what work is required for the week. Second, I use announcements as a way to address class-wide issues. So if I've had a couple of students that are saying, hey, Mr. Harrison, I try to download the software at this website and it doesn't help me, then I would put an announcement that says class software download correction. And that announcement will clarify that for you. So the announcements are the best way to stay updated on the course. Another communication is through Kmail. That's the best way to connect with me, because I check the Kmail probably every half hour at the least. And when you do a Kmail, make sure you follow these directions. Number one, in the subject line, type your course name as well as the topic of your email. So here's an example. Game design, need help with character development assignment. So that would be the subject line in the Kmail that you send me. And the reason you have to do that, to put the particularly the name of the course, because when you send a Kmail, all I can see is who it's from. I cannot see what course you're in. And sometimes I have a hard time keeping track of what course students are in. So always use this structure for the subject line of your Kmails. Next, when you do a Kmail, if it's a new topic, please write a new Kmail or revise the subject line of a previous one. Don't just reply to an old Kmail I sent you and have the topic be something brand new. Make it a brand new Kmail. Lastly, within the Kmail, be specific about the help you need. Don't just say, Mr. Harrison, call me, I need help. Because I'm going to refuse to answer that. That's ridiculous. You would say when you type it in, hey, Mr. Harrison, I'm doing the character development assignment, and the problem is I don't know what it means by this key word about a character. So please be specific. That way I might be able to get right back to you and answer you immediately rather than us sending 2 or 3 Kmails back and forth. Phone calls. If you need to talk to me on the phone, let's schedule that ahead of time. Please don't call me just right out of the blue, because I may not be prepared to talk to you, or I might not have the time available. So if you need a phone call, best thing is send me a Kmail, say, hey, Mr. Harrison, I need help on this, or I need to talk to you on the phone. Will 3 o'clock work for you? I'll come back to you and say, yeah, 3 o'clock works. What number do you want me to call? So let's schedule phone calls ahead of time. And there's my cell number if you need to call me. Class Connects. I've set up, in addition to the recorded Class Connects and the live ones, I've also set up what I call an immediate Class Connect. As many of you know, the Class Connects can only be set up usually on the half hour or the hour. So if you need immediate help, in the past, I've had to say, hey, I'll go in and set a Class Connect for 2 o'clock, meet me in there at 2 and we'll get this resolved. And it might be 1:35. But you need help now. So what I've done is I have an immediate Class Connect set up. All I have to do is click right here and it will open up the window in Class Connect, and you and I can meet within about 3 or 4 minutes. So we will set that ahead of time. So if we've Kmailed back and forth, we've been on the phone, and we need to go to a Class Connect, then I'll say, hey, meet me in the immediate Class Connect in 2 minutes. Then we'll both click, get in there, and I'll be able to help you out. And I'll talk a little bit about that more in a minute. Messenger Live, Windows Messenger Live, I don't always turn it on. I try to, but there you can add me if you want to. Okay, back to the Immediate Class Connects. See this link right here? It says Immediate Help. Click on that, and that's where you can go right into these Immediate Class Connects. I've already said what the purpose of them are. And the Immediate Class Connects, they're sort of like an office visit. So they'll be like if you were in a regular school and you told me, hey, Mr. Harrison, I need to talk to you today, I'd say, well, come on into my classroom or come on into my office, I'll help you out. So Immediate Class Connects can be really useful. Last thing to cover before we finish up with this recording, grading information. We looked at grading earlier a little bit, like on the percentages and such, so there's the percentages. But if you want to see how things break down, you can look down below here and see for different activities the number of assignments or tasks and the total points. Now this total adds up to 99% because some of these, like this one is 5.2, this is 19.3 or something like that. So really, I mean, this is the 100% of the points right here. Okay, that is all you need to get started in this class, and that'll get you going immediately. There are the announcements you can see that I have posted so far. The one that says week 1 work, that is a good way for you to see how I put the announcements for each of the weeks right in here. So you're welcome to get started in this. I look forward to your work coming in. And as I said, the first graded assignment for the week for this course is going to be my learning plan. So thanks a lot, everyone, for listening. I'm sure you all do great in this class, and I look forward to working with you. Bye.